Okay, let's do some problems. This is the problem 1, Johnson Manufacturing, so you want to make sure that you've got it printed off. There's too much stuff to do on the sheet, so I'll be doing it in a separate place again. But they use a job order cost system for production. Predetermined driver rate based on machine hours is used to apply overhead. Okay, so you want to do things like underline machine hours just so that you remember. The following information is for the month of March when jobs 1 and 2 were completed and job 1 was the only one sold. And we've got budgeted overhead was $360 and the estimated machine hours were 60,000. So the first thing we should do is probably calculate the boy, I hope you can see this, the predetermined overhead rate. So I'm going to put a note here at the top. This is, let's see, Johnson Manufacturing, and this is problem 1. And T accounts are really the best way to do this. So we have, first of all, the predetermined overhead rate, and it's going to be based on machine hours. So our estimated overhead is $360,000, and we'll divide that by our estimated machine hours are 60,000. So that's nice that this works out nice and clean. That's $6 per machine hour. And if I were you, I'd always label these. It just reinforces it in your head so you know. And they tell us direct labor is $15 an hour. Actual direct labor hours, they gave it to us for each job. So we've got 3 different jobs. We've got raw materials and finished goods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with a T account for raw materials. Raw material inventory, I'll make it a little smaller. And then we're going to have job 1. I think it's 1, 2, and 3. 1. Job 2. And job 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll also have finished goods. So let's put that, I'm going to put I'll put them down here. Finished goods. Finished goods, and then manufacturing overhead. We want to have a T account for that. That's the control account. I should be using the word control all over the place here, but I don't. Alright, so what else do they tell us? That direct labor costs are $15 an hour. Actual direct labor used for each job were as follows. Okay, so we'll do labor first. Oh, the materials are down below. I'm going to move down into materials requisition for production. So I've got, for job 1, I've got 50,000 coming out and going into job 1. Personally, I like to have these in order, so I've got material, labor, and overhead for each job. Okay, I don't change that. For job 2, it'll be $27,500, and job 3 is $30,500. And then indirect materials are $3,000. So we would have $50,000 coming out, $27,500 coming out, $30,500 coming out, and then $3,000 for indirect materials, and those would go down into manufacturing overhead. That would be actual. Indirect raw material. Okay? So then they tell us, let's go back up to direct labor then. I've got 500 direct labor hours at $15 an hour. That is, I worked this out ahead of time, believe it or not. That's $7,500 of direct labor. Job 2 used 1,000 hours times 1,500 would be 15,000. And job 3 used 1,500 hours times $15 is $22,500. Okay? And then they tell us that actual machine hours used for each, oh yeah, wait a minute. Supervisor and staff salaries for the month were $30,000. So I would put that in my overhead. Okay? It doesn't say that they all relate to the plant, but let's assume it does. So actual machine hours were 1,000 for job 1. So this would be 1,000 times 6, or $6,000 for overhead. For job 2, 2,000 hours, 2,000 times 6, or $12,000 for overhead. And finally, job 3 was 3,500 hours times 6 is 21,000. Okay. Other factory costs include, for raw materials, I've got a beginning balance of 11,000. You can label these if you want to. It's up to you. Finished goods had a beginning balance of 120,000. And purchases of raw materials were 115,000. Okay? Okay, then other costs, they've got depreciation on the plant for 5,000, so that for sure would be overhead. And then utilities, half plant, half admin. So for utilities, we'd have 4,000 actual. Repairs and maintenance. Repairs and maintenance on the plant are 5,000. And then sales commissions, customer service, those would not be overhead items. Janitorial service and admin office is 10,000. So this is all we have right here for overhead. So I think we're ready to wrap this up. Let's see what we've got for some numbers here. I've got 126 and 5027. This is, and the 3,000, this is 111. So we've got a balance of 15,000 in raw materials. Okay? For job 1, I've got a total of 63.5. And job 1 was completed, so 63.5 would come out and go into finished goods. Okay, this is 27.15.12. This is 54.5. And job 2 was also completed, right? Yeah, 1 and 2 were both completed. So 54.5 would come out and go into finished goods. And the other thing we knew is that 63.5 was sold. So this would, oops, so 63.5 would come out and go into cost of goods sold. Okay, so what are we left with here is 120 plus 54.5, 174.5. We didn't finish this one up, wait a minute. Job 3 would be 74,000 here. Okay. Then where are we for, yeah, 174.5 in finished goods. And then manufacturing overhead. What comes out of here? What was applied, right? Yeah, we didn't do the applied. We put 6,000 in job 1, so 6,000 would come out here. And 12,000 in job 2. And job 3 we put 21,000. So what do we have? I've got a total of, I think it's 52,000 here. 52,000, and the other side is 39. But I want to check this. Okay, so we've got 33 plus 14. 47. I got 47. Is that right? Maybe I better do it again. What do we have? That's 14,000 and 33,000, right? 14 plus 33. Yeah, 47,000. But now we can answer any questions. What do we have here for overhead? We are under-applied because the actual is greater than what was applied. So it's 47 minus 39. We've got an $8,000 balance here. Okay. So what do they want to know? First of all, compute the predetermined overhead rate for one. Predetermined overhead rate was $6 per machine hour. Total cost of job one. Total cost of job one was $63,500. Total overhead costs applied to all jobs in March, assuming that 6,500 machine hours were used, and that actually ties out. The total cost of what was applied was $39,000. Oops. I'm going to put a label in here first. So applied overhead is $39,000, and that would be, they say that we had 6,500 machine hours times $6 per machine hour. Yeah, that comes up with 39,000, so that's right. Actual amount of overhead incurred. Actual amount incurred is 47,000. Whoops. $47,000. Was the over or underapplied for 5, and it was underapplied. We applied 39, we incurred 47. So it's underapplied by 8,000. Okay. What was cost of goods available for sale? Oh, that's a tricky question. Cost of goods available. And what we can do is look right. See, we don't have a nice plain old work in process T account. But available for sale would have been job 1 and 2. Oops. So that would have been $63,500 plus $54,500. Okay. And what was the cost of goods? Yeah, prior to selling job 1, and net income for the month. All right, so they want net income, so we got to do a real quick income statement here. They tell us we've got sales of 120. You know what? I'll put it here. Sales cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold would be $63,500. So gross profit. Gross profit is $56,500. And then we've got, for expenses, we've got the other half of utilities of $4,000. Commission for salespeople of $15,000. Some customer service. Customer service is $20,000. and janitorial was 10. Okay, our net income, I've got 7,500. I'm going to check the math here real quick, okay? So 120 minus 120 minus 63.5 is 56.5. Okay, minus 4. Yeah, that's right, 7,500. Okay, we're good.